Okay. I think we're live on Twitch. I'm not sure about YouTube just yet. Let's see. Okay, I think we're live on YouTube. Let me just make sure of that before before we go all in here. All right, that looks good. So hi everybody, it's Alex, and this is the first stream of 2026, and first one since January 2025. I uploaded a video the other day explaining why I've been out, but I'm back now and hoping to get back in the habit of doing this and using my early morning time here more effectively, trying to work on some projects and some other cool stuff. So today I don't have too much planned just because it's the first stream, so I wanted to just make sure everything is still working. All the setup and everything, it seems to be okay. We're gonna, before we get any deeper, I just want to have a little sip of my tea. This is some Tongting oolong that I got from local tea importer, and it's quite good. This is a Taiwanese oolong. I still think that I like the Iron Goddess a bit better. That's a bit more of I think that tea has a bit more body to it, but this one I'm growing on it. It's been good. So I guess to catch you all up on what's been going on the last year in terms of kind of all of this. Oh, someone's watching. Welcome. So for the past year, I haven't been really working on any personal coding projects aside from just briefly touching some C code to try to create like a following Handmade Hero, trying to create a Windows platform layer for some games. My hope was to do that and then eventually move over to developing up a Mac and then Linux platform layer, as I went along, just to make it easier. Because now I'm mostly living on Mac for my personal stuff, aside from whenever I have to run a game that doesn't run on Mac, or if I'm on my TV. And that's a project I'd still like to get back to. I'm not sure if I took a look at the code base, and I guess we can look at it right now. It's nothing really too interesting. This is maybe one day into. Let me just move my OBS somewhere else. This is like one day into going through the Microsoft Learn documentation and coming up with the minimum stuff that you have to do to get a window on the screen, render some gradients onto it. This is basically following about maybe the first 5 or 6 episodes of Handmade Hero. You get to this point where you have your WinMain here, and we have all the callbacks set up that allow us to we're painting to it some kind of gradient that I think I don't know if I got that far, but I think you're basically controlling it with your arrow keys and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't look like I did that. Yeah, it was kind of mostly just an experiment. I did this like in August or something, and I didn't get super far into it, obviously, but it's something. It's something that I think would be a cool project to get back into. But the other kind of option, and the way I'm leaning a little bit here, is going into the Jai programming language. So I've been in the beta of this for also basically a year now, and I haven't done too much with it. I've been looking into, the last time I sat down and tried to look into it, I kind of went through, all of the, most of this documentation here, which covers the syntax, the sort of methodology behind Jai, and some of the unique features of it. And I think, apart from, um, just the idea of it being like a simpler, more optimized for getting graphical program running, programming language. I think it's also, the metaprogramming stuff is, uh, a big thing in this language that is, pretty different from if you're just jumping off of C++, because most of the stuff is like, the in Jai is C++ or systems programming language stuff, but with more modern looking syntax and with some nicer, more consistent modules that are all kind of by the same guy. Um, but this is like a programming language that's up and coming that I think is really interesting. I liked a lot of what I got out of the documentation here, in terms of the sort of philosophy behind Jai. Uh, so that would also be a pretty cool option to go into and try to build up like the skeleton of a game engine through this language. Uh, but not haven't been sold on that yet. Um, the other thing, if you saw any of the streams from like 2024 is working on, the big thing was the e-reader app, and I don't know if I can find, this is not the real one. But yeah, this was a website that I had been working on with a friend of mine. I was writing the front end, he did the back end, and we were trying to create a website where you could sort of collaboratively, read a book together. Basically, like an e-reader plus social media. As you're going through, you leave comments in the book. What the hell is that? I think like something just fell off my wall. Well, I'll have to find that later. But yeah, this is in like a almost ready for demo state. I think the last couple streams I did, it was pushing for demo date. But this is a project that I think I'm going to need some time to try to get back to, just for personal reasons, and to contact my partner again and see if what he wants to do with it too. But this is like a big thing, because I think the goal, my overall goal with the streaming and doing any of this stuff is to make a more better, more productive use of my time. I think that it's very powerful to record yourself on the internet these days. I think it's a very useful ability to be able to have build up a platform and refine that, treat that as like a small business that you're building up over time, have that like maybe bring in some money, but more than that, it is a way that I can keep myself honest, um, and and do some of these things that I want to do and I think would be good in order to help like build up my skills, complete some cool hobby projects that I want to do, and kill some time in the mornings before work. Oops, why does that keep doing that? Kill some time in the morning before work, um, and not just be like sitting in my bed or reading comic books, which I also did a lot of this past year. Yeah, in terms of that, it's probably interesting to no one. But I finished reading through um, all of post Crisis Superman in the past year. And I had read most of that before, probably about half of those comics. But I finished going through the other half, and that is, oh god, I don't even know how many. Uh, it's like easily 2,000 comics from 1986, where we had the big Superman DC reboot with the Man of Steel, um, all the way to now. Yeah, it's looking like, yeah, it's at least like 2,100 comics, um, probably more counting some more satellite extraneous stories and stuff. Uh, and that was quite the adventure. um, Superman's probably my favorite character. That was a fun time to go through and do all that. Uh, but I'm taking a little break from the character right now. I've been trying to catch up on Amazing Spider-Man. I've gotten through almost everything up to issue 801 right now, which is the end of Dan Slott's run. I've got plans to keep going through the Nick Spencer, Zeb Wells, Joe Kelly runs too. Probably going to stay away from all of the Spider-Man spin-off titles though, because it's just too many. I really I can't. I think my like insane comic reading days need to be going behind me at some point. So yeah, that's been another one too. But yeah, much better use of time. Probably working on my professional skills and communication, doing streams or whatever. Um, so I guess I don't know if I have too much more to say today. Yeah, this is going to be a light one. I think off stream today, I'm going to go try to figure out, uh, you know, what it is I actually want to do here as my immediate next project. There's like so many different little options, um, and like I don't want to just jump into a thing right now because all of the projects that I have lined up are um, they're like at least like a couple weeks worth of stuff going on. Like definitely trying to figure out some platform layer code in C++. Uh, I think is interesting. Um, I think it's good to know that if if I want to do any like super low level platform stuff in the future, which I don't know if I will. It's just a gap in my knowledge that I want to fill. Um, I think writing and then figuring out better how to optimize like more engine level um, like game code would be good too. Uh, because up to now, like the a lot of the ways that I've been doing it have just been kind of the go do naive solution and just roll with that because it works well enough. Um, and I have I've hit a couple of like performance bottlenecks, um, with uh, especially loading like a couple thousand entities on screen of not having like an optimized enough renderer and sort of like entity loop. Ooh, I feel really sick all of a sudden. I hope it's not the tea. Um, but of not having that optimized enough to keep up with like a couple thousand entities on screen, so I need to go. It would be good to learn how to go fix that. I think it's the solution is pretty simple. I think it is just doing some kind of like better search algorithm uh, on entities that could potentially interact with each other in any given frame. which is looking like turning it into a binary tree or something, um, sorting that based on position, so that you don't have to check everything, which is what I'm doing right now. That sucks, or what I was doing. Um, but yeah, there's a couple of things to learn in there, and then of course there's like the actual designing a game layer on top of that, making something interesting, which is a whole other, uh, maybe not as programming technical, but still very interesting skill. Yeah, there's all that, and then going back to learning some more web dev stuff, which I don't really get a huge amount of exposure to in my day job. I'm using more web dev technologies nowadays, but it's still not quite the same as um, any of like the real front end dev guys. The stuff that they have to deal with. It's a very it's a very weird application. Um, so yeah, there's some options. I think I'll come back hopefully tomorrow. I do have I don't think I'm going to be online all all the days this week, just because I have to go into the office. I think I think on Thursday or something to get a haircut. Go take some meetings. So probably not then. But yeah, I think that's pretty much enough rambling for now. Hopefully tomorrow we'll actually be seeing some code here, actually doing something more interesting than just sitting around talking about nothing. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. One person watching on Twitch, whoever you are, thank you very much. I appreciate I appreciate your time and attention here. Uh, and anyone who watches these vods too, always appreciate it. Um, but I will see you all tomorrow, if everything goes as planned. And yeah,